Coverage of the Open in association with NTT Data.
The winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year.
Good evening and welcome to the Open Countdown Live here at stunning Royal St George's. There's no way you're reaching the green in two from here. Instead, it's just a case of take your medicine. You might find yourself somewhere like this with a tough hanging lie, just as Darren Clarke found himself in 2011. Fortunately for Darren, he got a big chunk of luck.
Not that low.
Got bunker. Hand over it.
Oh, look at this now.
Went for the green with 2-iron in hand and got it horribly wrong. Then any shots which leak off to the right will end up there. Just ask Thomas Bjorn. Because it was from this spot in 2003, with one hand seemingly already on the claret jug, where his dreams swiftly became a nightmare.
16, second shot.
Get up.
No, not in this footprint.
Don't.
If you flare a shot into the grandstands, you're not dropping on some lovely trampled down grass. You're dropping in here, and it's probably not particularly pretty, as we can see.
No, not all exactly. I mean, you'd want to try and stay away from it.
This is the walk that they will all make along this bridge. One final glance at the 18th over there, and then down this staircase. Bit of fruit for the players to keep them going during the round. Bit of chocolate as well, if that floats your boat. And then finally out here, and there will be fans surrounding this first tee box. The claret jug will be sitting on this plinth. It's not here right now, it's been tucked away for the night. Radar walked 36 holes yesterday, that's 8 miles. That's a long way to walk, so I'll tell you what, Radar, come on, you have a little seat here, just for a few minutes, because this is not a bad spot to watch some tee shots.
My driver.
On the first hole.
It's no good.
The huge shop behind me here, that has done some business this week. Already sitting enjoying the golf on the big screen here. You got your ice cream van over there, grabbing your coffee, much needed caffeine hit before you head out on the long walk around the course. But it is another glorious day here at Royal St George's. Blue sky, sun shining. Make sure you keep your sun cream on. Northern Ireland is on the verge of hosting the biggest sporting event in its history. Those of us from this little part of the world are immensely excited, and Royal Portrush is ready as Northern Ireland welcomes the 148th Open. When the eyes of the world are on this tiny little corner of North Antrim, what do you think they'll take away from the week?
Well, I think when the eyes of the world are on it, I hope it encourages them to come here.
The welcome will be warm. The course will be the star of the show, and those who've played their own small part in this piece of history will perhaps have a tear in the eye.
As this wee country gets ready to open its doors to the world.
And who's that perched on top of the hill there? Is that Jamie Weir?
Thank you very much, Keith. And here is where you can appreciate just how close the Dunluce Links sits to the beach, because here are the out of bounds stakes. And what is it? 1, 2, 3, less than 4 yards, and you're on the 5th green. One firm bounce, and you're playing 3 off the tee. You end up down on White Rocks Beach, and that's not where you want to be. This is arguably the most iconic hole at Royal Portrush, and one of the most iconic par 3s in world golf, nicknamed Calamity, and you can see why. 236 yards from the very back tees this week. There aren't many more intimidating tee shots than this one. This hole will spell calamity for some, and for one person, it might just be where they get one hand on that claret jug. Welcome to the stunning surrounds of Royal Portrush on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean and home of the 148th Open Championship. It is, without doubt, one of the most challenging and spectacular links courses in the world. Yes, good evening. Welcome to Royal Portrush. For the first time in 68 years, the Open returns to little old Northern Ireland. The home favourite, Rory McIlroy, will be hoping to win a 5th major at the course where, at the age of just 16, he shot a course record 61. In around half an hour's time, the champion golfer of 2011 will descend these steps and make his way onto the first tee box to hit the opening shot of the 148th Open Championship. Yes, the man who lifted this, the claret jug, back in 2011, will have the honour of hitting the first shot at his home club. There must be something in the water here in Ireland that brings out the best in you.
You know, I've heard the theory many times. A lot of people think it's the Guinness.
There's nothing to do with the Guinness.
It's not. Nothing that it's alcohol related.
The famous Miguel. Hola. How are you? You okay?
¿Cómo está, Miguel? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
What do you think?
Wow, today's brutal with this winning.
You're trying to visualize where you want to land it, the flight in which you're going to be pitching it, and then, you know, you're just using the magic of the hands then, Jamie, which...
The Spanish hands.
The Spanish hands, which you haven't got, I've seen you.
No, I do not. Spin around 180 degrees and you're confronted with Portrush's glorious East Strand Beach.
If you wanted a little break from watching the golf, and why would you really, there's always the fun fair in town as well. From the very top of this Ferris wheel on the harbour front, the harbour on one side, Portrush's beautiful beach, and over that shoulder, there you go, Royal Portrush in the distance.
Well, it's been a long time waiting. Unbelievably, it's Europe's Ryder Cup.
By Friday, this place will be packed to the rafters with rowdy, patriotic fans. The Europeans, heavily outnumbered this time, needless to say, on Sky Sports News, will be remaining entirely impartial and neutral. May the best team win. Around 7 o'clock on Friday morning, the 4 men entrusted with getting the Ryder Cup underway will make this walk from the practice ground down this winding path which takes you underneath this grandstand, and this is where they will emerge to a wall of noise here on the first tee. The par 3s are a real feature of Whistling Straits. All 4 of them lie along the vast, spectacular Lake Michigan. The hole is called Snake, and you can see why as it slithers its way between 2 lakes. Those brave enough to go for the green in 2 will face a long carry over water to a shallow green with no room for error. It's a case of guts and glory at the 5th. Not all matches will make it this far, and more's the pity, because 18 is one of the most spectacular closing holes in golf. It is magnificently named Diabolical after the course's architect Pete Dye, and the tee shot is pretty frightening. A vast expanse of sand dunes to the left, a little slither of fairway to the right, and if you think that's scary, then the approach will really give you the heebie-jeebies. A natural amphitheatre will provide a cauldron of noise. Who will be the man standing over that decisive putt? Hello and welcome to Whistling Straits. Good afternoon from Wisconsin. Good evening to you back in the United Kingdom. The 43rd Ryder Cup is almost upon us. The fans are ready and so are we. Tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. your time, the first tee shot of the 43rd Ryder Cup will be struck. And it was quite the scene behind us here on this bank, because everyone was desperate to get the best vantage point possible for that opening tee shot. And there are a few little casualties along the way. People taking a little bit of a tumble down that bank as they rushed to get onto the first tee box. Red, white and blue everywhere. Very little blue and gold of Europe, but some of us are doing our best. USA flags everywhere. Nick, I've managed to spot one lone Northern Ireland flag in amongst all those USA flags, so I was delighted to spot that. My boys from back home are representing Europe, but they are heavily outnumbered. The wait is finally over. Here we go. The 43rd Ryder Cup about to get underway. I'll tell you what, we're still fighting for this Ryder Cup, and I would love it if we beat them. Love it. I'm doing my best with the blue and gold today, but we're up against it.
You're trying hard. I'm
trying my best.
Both looking fantastic, gents.
Tell you what, Wobbly earns his money. This is pretty heavy, this. And he has to put up with you.
Well, it was cold this morning. Thank you. What are you saying?
Inside left? This is why I'm not a caddy. Trusty Henrik Stenson 3-wood.
Yeah, somewhat trusty.
Go on then. Show us how it's done.
I'm going to finish the news.
Done.
Jamie Weir.
He's got nothing.